And welcome to the Raw Review. We are the Dudley Boys of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilbourn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened on last night's episode of Raw. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review Raw, but also SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on Wrestle Culture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick to review last night's Monday Night Raw and the go-home show ahead of Night of Champions.
Yeah, solid. Thank goodness for Monday Night Raw. Like the old stable thing most of my life. Just one of them Raws. Like, nothing outrageously bad, or I would say as divisive as the Cena Punk promo from SmackDown. Split the audience, that one.
Sure did.
Fine. Just a Raw. Just a Raw in this era where it doesn't often hit the peaks of the true boom, but still letting you know that, like, that's fine for now.
Cody's just the best, isn't he?
He's great, man.
Cody's great.
He is great.
Cody is, capital G, great at what the hell he does. Like the main event, a lot.
Good.
Well, we'll get there, though, won't we?
Okay. Let's dive straight into it then. The show opens.
The old Shawshank Redemption.
The Rawshank Redemption.
The Rawshank Redemption.
Nice. The show opens with Seth Rollins. He comes out with Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed, and Bron Breakker, and welcomes us to Monday Night Rollins. He says, "I'm a visionary. I'm a revolutionary. I am Seth freaking Rollins." And there's varying chants and cheers and boos and what have you for him. He says, "Columbus, you're sending me mixed signals here. Let me ask you a question. What do you want, everyone in this building? 1 minute you're chanting for CM Punk, the next minute you're chanting for the OTC, sorry. Next minute you're barking like a dog. Then after that you're singing my song. It's painfully obvious to me that you have no damn idea what you want. You don't know what's good for you, so you need people like me, visionaries like me, to tell you what's good for you. Let's try a little experiment here. Let's see if you can wrap this around your tiny little brains. You see, even the things that you want is because of me. Roman Reigns, the OTC, the Roman Reigns exists because of me. CM Punk says that he came back to WWE because you chanted his name. In fact, CM Punk is back.
CM Punk?
CM Punk is back in WWE.
Who's that?
Because
CM Punk is, if an EastEnders character, just telling you who their favourite wrestler is.
And that's the
Cockney alarm.
CM Punk
He's a punker.
CM Punk is back in WWE because this company wanted to cash in on how much I hate him, and that's the truth. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. There is no second coming of Cody Rhodes unless I am there to put him on the map. World Heavyweight Champion. World Heavyweight Champion, I was the first. NXT Champion, I was the first. Those things exist because I built them in my image. I am the creator. I am the prime mover. I am the past, the present, the future of this company. Between me and my oracle here, I like calling him Paul Heyman the oracle. We know a thing or two about revolutions, don't we, Paul? But every revolution faces opposition. I deal with that until that opposition pushes me and forces my hand. And that is exactly what happened to L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
He stuck his nose in our business and he got tsunami after tsunami after tsunami for his troubles. In a few minutes' time, my dog, Bron Breakker, has an opportunity to do the same thing to another person who's been a thorn in our side, Penta. Let me spell this out for you plain and clear. There are a lot of people who think they got what it takes at the very top. Champions like John Cena, Gunther, their respective challengers, CM Punk, Goldberg, there's people left in King of the Ring, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Randy Orton. But what these men fail to understand is that they're all running a race for second place. This, he points at the Money in the Bank briefcase, is the finish line. This is the end game. It has and always will be Seth freaking Rollins.
I didn't hate this, but it did feel like something got canned on this show or something got taken out and they were like, ooh, we're short 15 here. Can you put your Wikipedia through Grok and then recite it? Like, there was the bit about Cody. I'm the kind of guy that put him on the map by losing to him 3 times consecutively. Where would he be without me? the king of losers, apparently. Like, there was a few of them where you just say something that like links that to that, and it wasn't these like Triple H links that I typically quite enjoy.
Rob Fee.
These Triple H links that I typically enjoy. He takes the credit, he takes the blame, he takes it all. He's the game. Little poem I just constructed there. Paul Levesque. Can have that.
I know your pain, I know your shame, but you're not to blame.
You're the game.
He's to blame. It's a dystopia with him running this.
It's
a dystopia that I'm living in.
You get your words mixed up. Sorry. It was just fine. There was no sense of like, I didn't get any sense of progression other than the fact they've named Paul Heyman the Oracle. They finally landed on their wise man advocate, what an agent, whatever. He's the Oracle now. Okay. Like, nothing happened, really. Like, this could have been his promo 2 weeks after WrestleMania or the Raw after he introduces.
It essentially was.
Bronson Reed.
It essentially was.
Yeah. Like, but I thought Seth delivered it well. It just, I think I said this to you this morning. I was like, CM Punk's not on this show. As I'm watching this promo, CM Punk's not here. This is not going to be a Raw where stuff like gets addressed. We talked about it yesterday. They might just do, they bury their head in the sand. Nobody talks about anything and we just plow forward. And I sensed it from this promo. It was going to be one of them ones. It was very low on development of anything.
What else can I possibly say? Like, seriously, bro. It's Seth Rollins talking for what felt like 20 minutes about nothing I ain't never heard before in that, like, grating, nasally monotone of his. Slop. It's uninteresting slop. And this show, which was really well crafted this time last year, is now quite well crafted, but just punishingly dull. I don't know how long I can handle this.
You like this, didn't you? You just like
the sort of narcissism of like everything is because of me, all these people, all these titles, everything that they're fighting for. And it doesn't really matter if they win because I'm going to win in the end because I've got my title shot waiting right here.
He was saying this sort of stuff before he won the briefcase, right? So he's got the briefcase. I guess he can say, oh, it is all about me. He can justifiably say that. I will be the champion. I have the briefcase. Plotting has happened to substantiate his words, right? Just not only was this as an experience to watch, it's Seth Rollins on top. It's 2025. What are we doing here, right? Like, but before he won the briefcase, this is consistent with the sort of stuff he's been saying. So not only was the experience just totally dull, incredibly dull, like a lifeless crap, slop, drab Seth Rollins promo in 2025, right? Like, the irony of all people, Seth Rollins saying all this, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. And I've noticed as well, even some of the usual WWE leaning people are kind of getting out of this. Like El Hijo del Ice Cube was even saying that Seth was, quote, yapping. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. This is genuinely interesting if he's losing some of these people, you know? Like the hardcore, like they just love the Fed people. Seth Rollins, as I've discussed countless times, and the more he continues to just be Seth Rollins, I'm going to have to Seth Rollins him right back and just say the same things, right? Seth Rollins, as I've pointed out a million times, nothing would change if he didn't exist, right? Nothing would change if he didn't exist, okay? Like, if you think of other wrestlers who are put on these spots and how fundamental they are to the prestige of a title or the business fortunes of a promotion, right? Cody Rhodes, where's WWE without Cody Rhodes? Really? Mm-hmm. Even under Levesque booking somebody else as a babyface, where's WWE? I mean, they're still pulling in 8,000. They're still making record profits year on year.
Probably Sami Zayn in that spot, and you have to think, does he make it that high as Cody?
Yeah,
does
but artistically,
well, you know,
and the whole, we're pulling ahead of AEW and all the rest of it, you know? Jon Moxley, AEW, harder than ever to argue in 2025, granted, but like he's necessary. He is necessary. Like Seth Rollins, his entire career He has failed drastically every time he's been put on top. He just has, right? The idea that everything revolves around him in some mysterious, indirect, or even calculated way that he's trying to profess. It's like he is the most inessential professional wrestling headliner of the 21st century. And I firmly believe that. And the idea that he is trying to propagate here, that he is the fabric of everything past, present, and future, is laughable. I couldn't take a word he said seriously. He is narrative glue. Anyone, and I'll get to this, could be narrative glue. The idea that he's a star, that he is a revolutionary, I know it's just a catchphrase, but this thing that they're going with, I have to analyze and take seriously, is a complete and utter load of bobbins. You take Seth Rollins out. This is a guy who they invested in 2015 and 2017, no less, when there was virtually no such thing as long-term investment, especially for like a kind of flashy work rate guy as he was at the time. I'm talking 2 years into this little slow build babyface turn, and then he finally vanquishes the authority in Triple H. And 2 weeks before, or 3 weeks before, people just chant CM Punk at him because they find him so boring and uninteresting, you know? Like, Seth Rollins sucks. Seth Rollins is boring. Seth Rollins' continued push in this role makes me feel genuinely a bit mad. And Seth Rollins' new character, right, not only does it have actual parallels with, and I'm sorry, I'm going to upset you twice here, it has direct parallels with and is as difficult to take seriously as
Evolution era Triple H. Reign of Terror Triple H.
Yeah, but in terms of narratively what he's trying to put across, he's Karrion Kross.
Oh, I didn't even make that.
Get in.
That's just, you just upped his stock.
But you know, I saw his tweet, his retweet us again, and it's so funny because I read it in my voice. So your tweet that you retweeted this morning, which was
a bloodline, Seth Rollins led bloodline. Whoopee.
A Seth Rollins led bloodline. Whoopee.
Like he's doing this Karrion Kross gimmick of, if you think about it, I'm indirectly responsible for everything, is literally, even though we like him and we think he's got our role, it's not a wrestler, but he's got our role, it's kind of a running joke of like all the things he's professed to have influenced. Again, it hasn't happened. This is not what's happened. Can you defend this by saying, well, he's a deluded heel? No, you cannot. You cannot. This stable is poor. This stable's not good.
That's where I disagree. I like narrative glue. I wish it was different glue to Seth Rollins. I agree with you. What I'm saying is intended to support your point, right? I really like this stable, and I think it's integral to a lot of what I've liked about Raw post WrestleMania, and I think what I'm going to like between now and next year's WrestleMania.
Oh, God, it's going to go on for ages. But I don't particularly like Seth Rollins in this spot, in the same way I didn't like Triple H in the spot as the lead. I believe Evolution as a group were massively overrated, even if you can absolutely judge them as an objective success because of the eventual rise of Randy Orton and the actual money-drawing rise of Dave Bautista, a version of which I think will occur here with Bron Breakker. I'm not convinced.
I am.
I am not.
I am still very convinced in Bron Breakker. But some of this will be trudging through the sludge like it was back in the Evolution days, because as usual, I'm a situational Seth guy, and this week my situation was not Seth. Like, I did not care that it was him doing the talking, and to your point, I really do believe if it was somebody else in the ring saying the exact same words, anyone can recite. If you've been around long enough, you can recite Wikipedia. We learned that from the Miz. Like, anyone can say, I've done this, 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 and this, and spin those various storylines to make it sound like you're integral to them, while you've got a couple of heavies and a guy that you're hoping to make an actual star out of, and a legacy manager like a Paul Heyman or a Ric Flair as it was back then. Like, anyone can do that. It's
all of them do.
Despite being the leader and despite being the mouthpiece, because it's Seth Rollins, it feels like the least important job. I would say, counter to the idea that they're a bloodline, they're not, because you couldn't replace Roman Reigns with anybody. It had to be Roman Reigns in the middle, doing the talking, doing the leadership, pulling the strings. Seth Rollins does all that for this stable, for this idea, which broadly I support, but you could lift him out and you could put somebody in his place and it would be no different. If there was a heel in a similar position or a heel that was thereabouts on that level with a Seth Rollins, you'd be like, yeah, that's fine. Like if right before WrestleMania, there'd been a few clues and then, yeah, he doesn't have the WWE tenure, but he's done enough now and he's a star. It was a shock heel turn for LA Knight, aligning with Paul Heyman. And as part of that, I wasn't getting my opportunities. Like, you just thought I was a Stone Cold Rock Austin with some catchphrases. I'm not. I've been in this business 20 years, and I've been in WWE, and I've been this big star, and I'm a Slim Jim guy, and I still can't get my title shots. And now, me and Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, with me at the front as the mouthpiece, we're going to go on a tear in WWE. It'd be the same. It would be the same. And, like, Seth Rollins does not... increasingly, I feel like where I'm aligning with Sidgwick is that he does not bring the gravitas to this group that is required of him. But I do like the group and I do believe in it as a project. I do think you put the work in and you will get the results. Bronson Reed, I don't know where the ceiling is. Bron Breakker.
A bit slow.
Bron Breakker, sky's the limit and the whole project is worth it.
I think the sky's the limit for Bron Breakker.
If and when he makes it, I think all
He's going to main
event
WrestleMania, Bron
I think
Breakker.
so. Like,
So did The Miz. We did.
Well, lots of people get a go.
I'm talking fact.
Lots of people get a go. But like...
Has there ever been a great Bron Breakker promo? He's been at this for 4 years. I know is that a long time or isn't it?
It's not anymore because of the stunted way within which they develop their talent now.
Yeah. He's become a dog.
And he is one of their ground up guys. So he's one of them ones that has come with none of the background. And you say, it's like hen's teeth rare, isn't it, to get somebody that's actually a NXT. Right, we're going to teach you to wrestle and be a wrestler from football or whatever. I think he'll make it, and I think that justifies this. And I do, and I think...
I'm looking past Seth. I'm always looking at Bron over his shoulder.
And I will say, I think so far so good with the stable. Like, I enjoyed what we were doing with Sami Zayn and CM Punk. I like how it's pivoted to LA Knight. Like, they're not inconsequential. Their actions... like,
is this not bare minimum stuff?
I don't know. I take your point. I think a lot of it is to do with Seth Rollins. I think if there was somebody that, if there was a universally agreed upon credible leader at the front of this, I think the stable might be received differently. I think plenty of people like them. I think some people really don't like Seth Rollins, and probably nobody loves them. And I think that might be because Rollins is at the front of it.
I don't love them as much as I love the Bloodline.
It's thus.
And I really like them. I mean, I'm really excited about the future. That's the other thing. It's like, you've got so many things to look forward to going forward. You've obviously got, Seth's cash in. You've got potentially Ricky Saints joining the group, according to rumors last week. And then obviously you've got Bron Breakker finally breaking away whenever that happens, whether it be in a month, 6 months, 12 months.
If that is Levesque, can add another 2 years to that.
Yeah, 2 years. Lane, isn't it? Yeah.
No, it's boring.
And
it's fundamentally very, very tedious as an experience.
Tell you what wasn't boring, and that was Bron Breakker versus Penta.
I mean, it kind of was until the last 2 minutes.
I thought it was great. Do you not like this match?
This is an ugly fight, but in the best possible way, I'd say.
No, the last 2 minutes were hot.
Oh, I was into this.
The fans weren't.
I was expecting to be like, I've seen all this before. I quite like this.
Okay, I mean, that's fair enough.
I like these Bron Breakker matches where they sort of mix it up every time. He has 5 big spots, but he makes it unpredictable where they hit
We come back from the break, and I'm like, is anyone still alive? Or
the best stuff was in the break, actually.
Well, yeah, there was an element of that.
Early on, a springboard spinning crossbody drops Breakker, and Penta hits a drop kick in the corner, but then Breakker just runs him over. Suplex, backbreaker as well gets 2, and a huge clothesline from Bron Breakker. But Penta manages to knock Bron to the floor. Breakker catches him out the air with a dive. Penta sends him into the post, hits a big running flip dive to take us to a break. During the break, he dropped Penta on top of the ring post and did that awesome flying clothesline off the apron over the announce table. There's just bodies everywhere when we come back. Penta tries to destroy that, gets blocked. So Penta goes up onto the middle rope. Breakker just rolls through, hits a jumping knee and a super Frankensteiner.
Oh my God.
Straps come down, but Penta cuts off the super spear with a super kick. Hits a spinning DDT. Mexican Destroyer gets a 2 count. Penta can't believe it. Goes for another big springboard move off the middle rope, and Bron Breakker destroys him with a mid-air spear.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'll
Huge
press
pop.
that button.
Oh my God.
And post-match, Rollins warns Penta to last warning, only warning, stay out of my way.
And it was in that moment where I was completely aligned with Sidge, and I was like, you don't have the chops to handle this role. Because I didn't like that interaction or buy it either.
No, but I like this. I like the fact that he's like, yeah, stay out of my way. Well, you didn't do anything.
No,
it's Bron's the
real deal. But just he's still required to be the overlord figure, even if you're supposed to see Bron as a star. And I was just like looking at that, thinking, I just chin him, Penta. You'll be all right. Like. You'll be okay if you hit Seth Rollins, I think. I didn't really buy him.
Set Bronson Reed on you next.
Yeah. No, the running kick into the Breaking Steiner. Like, shot out of a can at the kick, and the fact the two things came so close together. This is a thing, like, they don't seem to have this set pattern of ways in which Bron hits his impact stuff to the point where you can predict it. And I love that keeps happening. I always get a little... It's not a surprise.
Chucks his body at you.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a surprise because he's got his spots like everybody else. That's wrestling. But the construction of his matches continues to impress me, the agent and how he's used. And I think they're threading quite a delicate needle with Bron Breakker in that he's such a baby face when the bell rings. And yet, obviously, he's working as part of the top heel stable. And they're, allowing the audience to enjoy the work, even if the outcome is, oh, I'm beating one of your favorites or I'm doing Seth Rollins' dirty work. That's not always the easiest thing to manage because sooner or later, the babyface swell gets too great and you have to turn him. But I have a lot of confidence they're just going to manage that for the next, 6 to 8 months. I think they'll manage that just fine.
I'm not as convinced as most people that Bron Breakker could be the total undisputed tippy-top babyface of the company required to work matches of a considerable length on the main event stage at pay-per-view, PLE, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, man. I don't know. For me, the last 2 minutes of this, I was up for it, hot. It looked violent, quite dramatic. For 80% of this layout in the body of the match, until the commercial break, where oddly it just started to erupt, Breakker just does stuff and doesn't really emote between. I'd love to one day sit. I just don't know what he's watch. I want to see it in person, right?
WWE PLE viewing party. I mean,
yeah.
There's a party I would host or attend.
No, it's the TV. I want to watch an episode of Raw.
Even better.
Should have been there. Oh, Raw after WrestleMania, beer tower.
Yeah, I like beer.
Then let's all pile around one of our houses and watch Raw live.
No. I want to watch
middle of the night.
No, I want to watch it sober at 5 a.m. in the morning. I want to watch it sober, stone cold sober, with you two at 5 a.m. So when I watch, I just need to make sure I'm not going a little bit mad, right?
Okay.
Because when I watch these WWE TV matches play out to this distant hum, of this ambient hum you call an atmosphere, for 80% of the goddamn match, before they see a signature, they sense the pace picking up, and the Manchurian candidates that they are. All right, okay, time for the finish. I want to know what you feel in that 5th, 6th, 7th minute of just stuff.
That's like when I'll, think I'm taking the piss, but you know me well enough to know I'm not. That is when
I don't anymore.
I'll have a little nosy about what's on the ring, or I'll have a look around the arena. I'll enjoy the aesthetics. And that's the experience since day one, by the way. There's a reason why I've retained all this information, because if there's a minute where the match starts to drag, it's oh well, I guess I'll treat myself to all the things to look at.
Okay, point. I guess
then you drop back in.
You've made my point for me.
That would be when I would be yeah, Sidge, they've not put that on the canvas before, or whatever. There's never not something to do when the Fed's on Sidge. You need to understand this. This is why I just blows my mind that you would fast forward the entrances.
They're the same every. Okay. We agree. We ultimately agree. Last 2 minutes or hot.
Give you a minute. Have a look at something.
Mystico's entrance every single week. That's what you get on Monday Night Raw.
That would be an exaggeration, but the point broadly is, I agree with it.
It's just the hum. I can't get over the hum.
I can't hear the hum, by the way, because I'm too big. Got their own pop.
Just to add to Sidge's point as well, I think I would pay to watch all three of you watch it, but at normal speed.
Yes, thank you.
That's fair.
You have to sit through it for the 3 hours.
I'm not doing that for Dynamite, absolutely.
Oh, but then having said that, There's a Raw on next.
Like, honestly.
Next week's Raw, I'm probably going to watch live.
Oh,
if you want to get
yes!
yourself round.
Oh.
It's going to be on at like 11 p.m. UK time. So if you want to come over and crash at mine and watch Raw 11 till 1 in the morning, live ski.
No.
Beers.
Some beers. No, I don't want to do that. But
Well, that was the offer. That was what you're asking for.
what's your normal speed?
Like PLEs, always normal speed.
And they are trash, and this one doesn't look much better.
Yeah, but like tea time, innit?
Have you seen that?
Tea time with the kids. You know, like just old round the telly for wrestling.
If someone decided to put a brick in my face at 2 p.m. in the afternoon as opposed to 2 a.m., I'm not going to prefer it.
You would. Come on. You've got time to get to the hospital. They might get you fixed up before bedtime.
What was the next segment on the Raw?
Those are things you don't mean.
We see, unfortunately, a replay of Liv Morgan's injury from last week, and Postman Pearce tells AJ Styles that Dominic Mysterio is also, I think he's got a rib injury, and Styles says, what's wrong? Strained his mustache. Pearce says,
You get him, age. You get him, age.
I wasn't sure about you, Alan, when you came in from that TNA. Was a bit WCW for my liking. I thought you were one of them sixers, but you know how to work.
You also know how to talk.
so the IC title match at Night of
I
Champions.
also like the way you think.
It's postponed. But it'll get the match when Dom's recovered. The New Day and Grayson Waller walk in. I don't know why, but it did pop me when they were like, got some ideas for a little photo shoot. He's like, I've got an idea for a match. And they both go, a match? Like that. And he books them for a tag team title match next week against the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD McDonough. And Kofi yells, "You're bald," at Pearce. And Grayson Waller sticks up for his boys.
After like 3 years or something of building it, have it turned down on a split off screen. Because that would be some payoff, wouldn't it? Like, where was Austin Theory?
I don't know.
Because I know, like, well, if like the New Day and Grayson Waller are friends, I guess that probably only means one thing about Austin Theory, doesn't it?
Yeah, in the words of Grayson Waller himself, I suppose. You've got no mind.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say about this?
Not really.
Not a goddamn thing. This division continues to be in the bin.
It's in real trouble. Real trouble.
Michael Cole is a potential tag team. Michael Cole sits down with Goldberg and asks Goldberg, what's going on? You and Gunther and that. And Goldberg says, nobody should be surprised. Gunther embarrassed me in front of my wife, my son, my fans, my adopted hometown of Atlanta. And at that point, he didn't know when, but he knew he'd go after Gunther. And then obviously he mentions it's a retirement match. It's serendipitous that Gunther's put himself in this position. And as long as Goldberg's breathing, he's going to make Gunther pay. He concludes by saying, Michael, I'm going to beat the out of Gunther on Saturday night's main event. And yes, Cole confirmed after the break this would be his final match, unless he wins the title, I suppose.
This was so weird, right? So over the course of however long they sat down together, clearly, however Goldberg delivered his lines, he didn't do it in a way that was satisfying. So they had to edit it together. So we saw what we saw, which was a not very well edited collection of answers from Bill Goldberg. And then one of the key details was either something they forgot to get to, or Goldberg botched it to such an extent where Cole said, you know what the great thing about an interview is when we have a chat when the camera stop rolling and I'll tell you some details that he doesn't tell you himself.
Yeah.
What the hell was this? Like, how bad must Goldberg have been, even in a pre-tape setting, that they had to splice this together the way we saw it, and then you get one of the key details in the aftermath.
I'm going to get that sweet.
Mr. Goldberg, no! Mr. Goldberg! Rubbish. Gunther, later on.
Great.
Amazing.
Great.
Studying contrasts.
I was watching this going, you can't put the title on him. Do not let him win this match.
Pill Paulberg. Like, if there was ever any doubt, this was the week. Like, what's this going to look like?
Is he ever a good promo?
He was good at being Bill Goldberg.
He was good at being Bill Goldberg. Basically,
Like-
if he said like one or two things.
Yeah.
The thing about Goldberg, right, is that I find him such a fascinating case where I kind of hate him. I don't know if it's a rash.
Me too.
I
I
don't like,
kind of hate him too.
yeah, like usual
WCW, that's why.
usual thing of 98 Goldberg
Beat 173 losers.
rule beyond belief.
Like,
Who won the
see.
Goldberg quiz that we did in the office?
We didn't keep
Post-wrestling
count. I've
culture.
stopped keeping count.
Yeah. Unlike Goldberg's
Pretty
streak.
even. Yeah.
There's something about him, right, where he's like so like entitled and aggressive. And yes, like the ball-knowing dickheads will say, "Oh, Goldberg being aggressive is the point," but like, I really don't know how to articulate this. So you're just gonna have to struggle along with me. Like, he's always so quick to be like, he's always like turns up to 10 when there's like, when ordinarily there's no real need. He's just been challenged, or he's just coming out to someone who's next better scene. You're next. Like, get it. You're meant to be intense. That's your thing.
He's so charmless with it, isn't he?
He's so charmless.
The best one being the Drew McIntyre. What have you been saying about the legends? He hasn't said anything.
Yeah. He's like so charmless.
Well, in case you do, I'm going to kick your ass.
So charmless and volatile and aggressive and intense with it. It's like, because this is this resting mode, and I've seen it so often, it's like when he's got a right to be indignant, I still hate him. So, why am I going after Goldberg, Michael Cole, you stupid
Resting Bill face.
Yes, resting Bill face. It's like, Michael Cole, he's just asked you a question.
It's
like, well, asshole, he came after my family. And it's like, this is the one time where you're kind of allowed to do this. But because it's like, he's like this all the time, it's like, why are you so aggy?
I want skits now. I want them following around with him. Goldberg suffers a minor inconvenience. Bill, mate, your shoelaces are untied. Wham! Takes him out.
Pulls him clean out of his shit.
Well, Poindexter, I guess you're next.
Spears his shoe.
Right. Let's go on the podcast.
They do one of them Raw Legends nights, and it's just like Jim Duggan and Layla and Elijah Burke having a cocktail. Goldberg's here. Who spiked the punch? I did! And butts it just like...
Well, Einstein. I don't know. I like it when people say Einstein and genius. And
place my groceries in the f***ing bagging area. I just did. Jack Hammond's the machine.
I'm sorry, sir. Your airline bag's 2 pounds over. Is it now? It's lining up.
I do like the idea of like his wife, where's Bayley? He's just telling another inanimate object that it's next. Doesn't even follow through with the threats anymore.
Table's got a bit of one of the legs at the pub. And you put like a beer mat underneath it. Shorter than the other.
I kind of hate him.
Me too.
Like, I kind of
hate him in the title. I've changed my mind.
I just kind of hate him.
Oh, me too.
It's that snarl and that, like, he just wants to calm down a little bit, doesn't he?
So it just reminded me of a lad who I went to school with was a bit of a Raji looking back. But we hung out with him. He was good fun to play football with and stuff.
Raji looking what?
He's just a bit
lad.
Yeah, and he was one of those people, a bit like Bill Goldberg, who would just couldn't handle like a slight inconvenience. So remember that thing you used to do where like you'd be walking as a group of mates and you've got nothing better to do, so you decide to kick one of your friend's feet into the other. Yeah, into the other one to slightly trip them up. It was the season of that.
Yeah.
And we were doing that either walking home or walking to school. And I did it to him, and he turned around and headbutted me.
Like this guy.
Told me I was next. I locked myself in my house for 6 months.
Bloody hell, Bill, this it's got a bit of squeak on this gate. You need to get some WD-40. Don't worry about the old WD-40.
He's got a bit.
He loves that bit.
He loves it.
I love it. He loves it.
You know what else? He loves this bit, so he's going to be doing it downstairs after this podcast for the
like full body. Downstairs will be full body, so you can see.
Yeah. Oh God, he's going to do it with like I.
Goldberg suffers a minor inconvenience is one of my favourite things.
Do you think he knows?
Sorry, very quickly. In recent days, basically since last week, after certain podcast records, he's got the headphones on. He sits behind me in the downstairs office. All I can hear is he's just watching himself. Oh, sorry, he's watching Pratoshta. He's just laughing at it.
Oh, I missed it, you see, on the podcast yesterday.
I was going to ask, do you think he knows like actually requires somebody to set that pyro off next to him that he walks through? Or do you think he just assumes that's like most streets?
Yeah.
We all work through fireworks, don't we? Like, there's loads of people pressing buttons for you there, Bill.
What, again, even when he's justified, I'm like, I still hate you. Even when it's against someone I think is a complete piece of shit. Goldberg I still find him annoying. Like, you see that backstage interaction. I'm not putting the other guy over here, but that backstage interaction with Riddle.
Yeah. Horrifically awkward.
I'm not your bud. Oh, we'll talk. We'll talk, all right. Yeah, I'm not your buddy. No, I'm not your buddy.
Ain't had a friend before, ain't about to get one now.
I'm not your bro. Huh? God, can you imagine hanging out with him?
No.
That's not where we are on this game Monopoly. Whose go is it? You're next.
Oh, God. That's the day gone, basically.
The whole day
If
gone.
you knew anything about the culture of the downstairs office, this day is over.
Imagine his son just saying good morning to him. He just gets it wrong somehow.
Morning, son. Dad, it's 12:10.
Goldberg sucks.
Oh, God, I hate him.
But it's okay because he hates all of us. This much is
I
clear.
kind of want him to stick around now, to be honest.
So,
Just waving the Goldberg flag on Saturday Night's Main Event. Come on, beat Gunther.
So, Bill, I guess the question everyone in the WWE universe is asking, well, why now? Why now? And, why Gunther? Well, head, don't you have a family, head? Because if someone tried to on your family, wouldn't you want to do something about it, huh, head? What are you, stupid or something?
Bill, this is a Wendy's.
I really don't like him.
He loves this bit. He loves it.
It's made my day, this. Hasn't it? Right, where are we going next? Oh, brilliant. We're going to the
Atlanta, dumbass!
We're going to the clubhouse.
Yes.
And everyone's not as happy as we are. Everyone's sulking. Finn Balor's like, come on, guys. Huh? Just because Liv Morgan's out for 6 months. Stop.
That's good stuff.
Stop getting down in the dumps.
Our nearest friend and best wrestler's gone.
Finn Balor's the best as well. Hey, come on, cheer up, everybody. Yo, you're going to kick AJ Styles' ass. You're going to show everyone why you're dirty Dom. Roxy, you're going to become queen of the ring. JD, me and you are going to bring the tag titles back to the clubhouse. Raquel, come on, you are the tag team champions now. Raquel's unsure about what Postman Pearce and the SmackDown GM, I can't remember what his name is, are going to do regarding the women's tag team titles. It's like, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And you just sit around and complain about it. She's like, what you say? You stood 1 yard away from me. I hated everything. And he says, hey, that's the fire I want to see. Don't let Rhea walk all over you like she did last week. You're the enforcer. Go on, make her pay. Dom's like, I miss Liv. I did like the way Michael Cole afterwards was like, ever heard of FaceTime, Dom? But Roxanne's like, hey, Dom, don't worry. Everything's going to be okay. And then Finn, eyes again. Finn's eyes. Hey, Dom. Got the old Queen of the Ring match next. You want to say something? Like, good luck. Well done.
Like, just away from, like, to be fair, like, our divided interest in the Judgment Day, Sidge has long said, not really for him anymore.
Nah, never was.
Mine's ran hot and cold, but it's back hot again, which is terrific. Like, it's fair to say, adding Roxanne Perez for her and them was pretty inspired creative.
Yes.
Like, you can see, like, the directions it would have gone with Liv in the picture.
You could also say derivative, but quite effective.
Yeah, well, they can do just as many with Liv Morgan gone. So the idea was robust enough that even though a key player in it's now gone down injured, this is not much of a pivot. They're still able to tell the story and, like, just tweak it. And Finn Balor's arguably even more ghoulish, previously he was doing it for a bit of power and control and a bit of insecurity. Now he's effectively pissing on a grave, like in her absence. It's like this has made it better, and I think that's the making of a good. I'm going to use the most loftiest of examples here, so this is not a like-for-like comparison. Steve Austin sort of kind of needed to break his neck.
Wow.
Because pivoting from wrestling wrestlers to hating authority figures was the difference. That was the, how big is he to, he's going to change the world.
Yeah.
Because who was suddenly the top heel? An authority figure. Who's Steve Austin been fighting? Authority figures, because he can't wrestle. Like, when the story is that good and when the character is that well built and understood by its audience, you can work around injuries to such an extent that like things improve as a result. And something about this had a different spice to it. And then later on, when Raquel and Roxanne Perez were in the ring together, and it was like, well, this is, if Liv Morgan was there and looking on and saying nursing an injury backstage, it's like, you two out there look pretty comfortable together. No, it's now she's not even here. And they've just moved on like that. And you do feel like the solution will be free bird rule. And she's going to get
Raquel's winning the street fight.
She's going to get a belt taken off her and put right on a Raquel's shoulder. Like, this has improved what was already like a good story and one I was enjoying. And Liv Morgan's return will be even better. Lots of stuff to look forward to as a result of this, I think.
It's really fun, this. I just love Finn Balor's face.
Yeah.
All the time.
Again, if you kind of are even forced to break the usual patterns of episodic TV wrestling and have a character who's absent but still present at the same time, like, again, if you're not on TV, it's a good thing. Wrestling's so weird and flawed.
Bayley's warming up. I think she's been chatting to Bill Goldberg, actually, because Lyra Vakyria walks up and says, hey, good luck in your title match. And Bayley's like, didn't know I needed permission from you to get title opportunities.
His energy stalks the halls. He's coming for 1 week and everybody's pissed off.
Bayley's like, I'm sorry, I've overreacted there. I've just been focused on this title match, Becky Lynch, all week. But when I win tonight, you're going to be first in line for a title shot, and you can see Becky Lynch just looking in the background. It's developed as the show went on, obviously. Then we got our Queen of the Ring semi-final match. It was Jade Cargill versus Roxanne Perez. The size differential means that Roxanne early on is just trying to evade Jade. She dives in out of the ring, slaps her in the face. Jade eventually gets her hands on her and chucks her all over the ring. Hit some push-ups, but Perez manages to catch Jade Cargill on the outside, traps her leg in the steel ring steps and drop kicks the steps to take us to a break. When we come back, Cargill's selling the leg, tries fighting back, but Perez chop blocks her. But Cargill catches Perez out of midair as she goes for a crossbody, hits a big boot, hits a spine buster, licks Roxanne Perez's face, choke slams Perez for a 2 count, but then Perez counters her jaded, puts her in a cradle, hits that awesome cartwheel knee drop for a 2 count. Cargill, though, counters the pop rocks. It's a pump kick, powerbomb, and jaded for the 1-2-3 post-match. Asuka comes out. That's the Queen of the Ring final for a face-off.
I sometimes feel guilty saying this because I've never taken a bump in my life and hope I never do. So maybe I don't know diddly squat about these things. However, I feel like here I was watching a failed carry job.
She tried her best. She tried her best. Yeah,
Roxanne Perez was wrestling for 2. Jade Cargill appeared to me to lack so much snap and so much dominance that is required to tell this story, while Roxanne Perez moved in all the right places to make it look like she had it.
You can't blame her for overcompensating.
No, and
she had to.
She had to, and it was pretty damning at points because I'm sort of still rooting for Jade Cargill because I'm such a believer in
Coliseum video covers.
Yeah, the intangibles to me, the aura, the look.
She's got no aura anymore. Mate.
Maybe not. Maybe she doesn't. I still a little bit went, Jade Cargill and Asuka for a crown. That's right out of a fan favourites, volume 4, because it's they've never wrestled and look at the prize. Or as in this sort of stakes at least. I know they've done the tags and the trios and stuff. If we're judging it on its merits, this was a kind of a crushing disappointment.
What was the thing at the end with the powerbomb into the Jada? Was she trying to get her up for a second powerbomb and then transition into Jada? Because she just powerbombed her.
Yeah.
Then I was like, she's going for a pin. The ref didn't do anything. And then she just sort of let her go and then
this
went
happens
in position
in
for Jaded.
Every single match she's ever wrestled.
It's like this either this miscommunication or this
She's got any idea.
failure to deliver a move in such a way that it illustrates what actually the story she's trying to tell. It's always one or the other or a combination of both. And I had a bit of sympathy for Roxanne Perez, but again, never been in a ring. So for all I know, this was the two of them just on a different page, and I'm maybe apportioning some blame unfairly to Jade Cargill, but I felt like
she's on the right page with most everybody else.
I felt like I was watching a carry job go wrong here.
Yeah,
and
you
it was
were.
a shame.
It's because you were. Like Jade Cargill, I think seems like a nice person. Kind of rooting for her on that basis, but as a professional wrestler, I've sold my stock a long time ago. It's never going to happen for her. It's never going to happen because I don't think she has the aptitude. At this point, I don't think she has really the motivation. Certainly the structure and the schedule is not in place for this to be anything. She is simply not good at this, nor will she ever be. The absolute best you can hope for, and this is not good because the idea is you are meant to promote something, promise something, and then deliver it. You can't effectively promote the Jade Cargill character at this point because you can't expect anything from it other than you might get a total monumental over-delivery one of these days where everything goes right and the stars align. You will, or certainly I will, go into every single Jade Cargill performance until the end of time thinking, this is going to be shit. Because it probably will be. That thing with the, everything you said was true, just completely wrestling herself, overcompensating, Jade just not putting anything behind the stuff she was guided into doing. I think the powerbomb was just odd. In the finish as well, it felt like, who was the ref, Jessica Carr?
I think so.
It felt like, well, she wasn't so much checking if the shoulder was down, or I can do the 3 count now. It's like, is it down? Just help me do that. 1, 2, 3. Odd. When you make the referee look like an idiot, this is just crap. This.
It was weird to be saying that as well when she's presumably going after this match, Queen of the Ring, SummerSlam title match, probably SummerSlam title win,
Cash
and then
in.
cash.
Yeah, that's the route.
Seems to be where we're going.
I mean, she's not good and should.
There was a distinct lack of energy, wasn't there, behind what she was doing?
It didn't feel like something had gone awry or something was on the cusp of happening and it just fell apart because she lacks the composure and the ability and the experience. It just felt like there was nothing to this whatsoever. She's simply not good, and nor will she ever be.
But I think they'll follow it through.
Oh, yeah. And Bianca will get a great match out of her as well when they eventually get to that.
Will they?
Well, this is it, right? I'm kind of with Sidgwick. Like, I want to look at these things.
Yeah.
I do.
You're an optimistic guy generally, aren't you?
Yeah.
You shouldn't be.
No.
I want to look at these things, and typically,
You can't just say that.
Triple H
Yeah,
puts
it's probably going to be crap.
No, but because Triple H puts the things in front of you, you then get into the mindset of, well, yeah, all right, then I'll have a look at that for a minute. I'll have a look at that for a minute. Jade Cargill and
Everyone
Bianca
puts
Belair,
something in front of you. Look, here's a fucking cup.
and it's a beautiful one. And where would you-
Anyone can do that.
Well, if anyone can, where would they go to get that cup, Sidge?
WhatCulture.com/shop.
See? Proof of need be. Triple H's methods work. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair was a WrestleMania singles match on Jade Cargill's first night. Like, the Royal Rumble is where people fantasy book that. And
They need to treat that like a legitimate celebrity match.
yeah,
And practice it and practice it and practice it and practice it.
at this point, it's a smoke and mirrors exercise rather than, it's been a couple of years and Jade Cargill's developed. And that's a shame, but I am still broadly in favour of seeing it
They
play out
should
nonetheless.
genuinely treat it like the celebrity match.
Yeah.
Practice it, practice it, practice it, practice it, practice it. You've invested this much time in Jade Cargill in that dispute with Bianca Belair to the point where it kind of lowered her stock because she was in the tag team division when she should be headlining multiple premium live events. That's how good Bianca Belair is. That's how much I rate her. Treat it like a celebrity match. It's the least you can do. Even if you patronize Jade Cargill, do it.
They'd want the best outcome, wouldn't they? So why would you not do it? Yeah. Like,
Following this,
It's just funny how Levesque was like, she wasn't trained. Come to the Fed. We'll show you how things are done. Really,
have you?
what the was that? Sorry, I'll try not to swear anymore, Wilbourn.
it's all right.
Yeah. You think he said it was all right? Am I allowed to swear or not?
He lines up a pretty mean spear. You want to be careful.
The next segment had me close to swearing because Sheamus is talking to the Alpha Academy and Natalya saying they should go after the tag titles. No! Oh, God.
Jade is staying for all of them backstage. I hate them. Like every week they have this little convention of losers. So I'm so resentful.
Having Sheamus stood there is
it's the weekly meeting of backstage door.
toxic to his aura.
Yeah. You're my rock, Sheamus.
Natalya wants Sheamus to keep his head up despite losing. You know about that. Sheamus wants to put Rusev in his place. Rusev joins the conversation and says Sheamus should pretend to be everybody's friend. He's going to smile in your face, stab you in the back sort of thing. Sheamus is like, I march the beat of my own drum and I liked giving you the beats of the bodron, dickhead. Sheamus.
Rusev must be thinking, did I leave this company or not? Is it like...
What effect does this place have on people?
Sheamus says
what effect does this place have on people?
Rusev was the most embarrassing and egotistical member of the League of Nations.
Ooh. You were a medium suck-ass and a group of suck-asses. Ooh, we all stunk.
At least he got that screen, though. Remember from the Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
They beat up Roman and then he was like, I've got a screen.
A stable so effective, they beat him up, celebrated, and didn't think, should we chuck him back in and throw him over the top rope and actually complete that?
Yeah.
He'll probably be fine. If anything, we'll give him a rest period, a long rest period.
But the game got rid of him, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Gave him Triple H share, clean that up, and dealt with old Mr. Moxley while he was at it as well. So now he knows the hardest.
Oh, but then again, rematch against Fastlane. Maybe he's going to get into the honor.
They invented a cop-out finish.
Twice they did it with Brian as well, didn't they? Brian at Fastlane. Oh, yeah. No, we get the match we decided.
You know what February's for? Is brushing your favourites out of the way. So
Yeah.
we can get to the show of shows.
Fritter away.
Yeah. They're going to kick each other's ass, basically.
Losers. All around.
I like when they fought the other week. Was it last week or whenever it was?
What this segment couldn't have done with Goldberg running and spearing all of them.
Honestly, these loser convention.
Yeah.
Convention of losers.
So he's not a loser. Gunther. He came out next.
Yeah, this is great.
Last week was supposed to be my celebration, he said. Me celebrating regaining what's rightfully mine, the World Heavyweight Championship, but instead none other than Bill Goldberg walked down here, looked me straight in the eye and told me I'm next. So I did a lot of thinking. I thought a lot about what it means to be next. Usually means getting speared out of your boots, jackhammer 1, 2, 3, waking up looking at the lights. Bill Goldberg is the most destructive man of his generation, but it's not 1999 anymore. It's 2025, and right now I am the guy. I'm the best professional wrestler in this company, and the World Heavyweight Championship around my waist proves it. I heard what Bill Goldberg has to say, intense as always. There's nothing he could say that will change my perception about him, and my perception is that I see a 58-year-old one-trick pony that can't lace my boots. Hang on, there's a button for this.
And I mean... Folks, where's the lie?
So, Bill, I want to take this moment to officially apologize to your wife and your son for everything I'm going to do to the man that used to be Goldberg. I'm unlike anybody you ever stepped in the ring with. I embarrassed you once, and at Saturday night's main event, I'm going to embarrass you again because it is my personal responsibility to make sure that the legacy and the myth of Bill Goldberg forever dies.
Is this actually quite the strategic move from Triple H as a booker here beyond just, Gunther and Goldberg was something people want to look at? And I still get that match as a bit of matchmaking. But based on this promo and its contrast to Goldberg's, that of which I think we've analysed effectively, the Goldberg one. Gunther,
and thoroughly.
Post-Goldberg, Gunther is the one right opponent away from the perfect babyface turn. Because I am pretty sure that people are going to enjoy Gunther decimating Goldberg when he does win. Goldberg will have a moment, and the fans will come up for that. But then Gunther will win, and the fans will come up for that too. Because I definitely think here there was a sense in the crowd of, yeah, good actually. Like I really was like, I like this, and he's going to back up his words, and that's what babyfaces do. And we've often said that there is always a babyface turn lingering within the Gunther character, because so often he just backs fans back winners, and he backs up what he says. So there's all the if he targeted heels instead of babyfaces, very quickly Gunther would become a babyface himself. I don't know who that person is, but in Goldberg, has he been tactically chosen that so you get your cake and eat it? You get the, whoa, Gunther Goldberg, Clash of Ages type thing. Weird, look at it. But also, loads of people think Goldberg's a bastard. And if we're on the route to Gunther becoming cheered and WWE just getting to enjoy that and own it, they're only one tweener or one quasi-heel away from getting there, aren't they?
No, the strategy is we need to counter-program all elite wrestlers.
Well, that is the other strategy,
to the point where we make a complete fool of ourselves throughout the entire year. That is the strategy.
The second strategy, different.
I mean, that is the strategy. Let's. I mean, come on.
Creatively. In terms of
the strategy is let's make a fool of ourselves by just counter-programming and being like pointlessly defensive and worried about AEW, even though we will dominate them every single year until the end of time.
Away from
that's the strategy.
Away from historic vindictiveness.
It's modern vindictiveness. It's happening.
Generational vindictiveness.
It's future vindictiveness.
All right. Away from all those good things. Like, just around the Gunther character, I mean. Like,
they're going to turn him babyface.
This feels like the proper start of it, the unofficial start of it. Like, and they're kind of hiding it because, hey, get him, Goldberg. No, kill him, Gunther. Because every time thus far there's been any mention of it, even going back to when he kind of insulted him in Atlanta, I was like, that's going to be brilliant when he beats Goldberg. And I feel the same.
I think you're meant to like Goldberg for now. It's just makes it difficult. Makes it very, very difficult indeed by being so aggy.
Gunther's the best. Gunther's the best all-rounder.
No, he's so awesome. He's so awesome. I'm with you. He could very, very easily shift into a babyface role at this point. They are planting seeds for it. But it's weird. Like, remember there was a version of the Gunther character who, while still very capable in interviews, was still a little bit wrestling-y. And the Bloodline people hated him, I remember. Like, now he's just so... I mean this is a positive for once. He is so fed-pilled.
Can you remember that brief window?
Used to get watered.
Where Walter was the boring member of Imperium.
Yeah.
The Imperium tags. Yeah. The little rippers they were having on NXT.
Yeah.
It's like, Walter sort of slowing it down. Yeah. It's like, I like them just getting all fired up. And then, like... That was a strange little spell, wasn't it? And I burst out with that. Like, he's figured this out.
He's unbelievable as a promo. He's so great.
Jackie Redmond is backstage with Becky Lynch, but she's getting wound up from seeing Bayley and Lyra conspiring or whatever to get this IC title away from her. So she runs off. And Jackie walks up to Sami Zayn. How are you processing the loss to Randy Orton from last week's SmackDown, she asks. Sami Zayn says, and you hear in the background, and here he is, Karrion Kross is here, huge bab. He says, that's quite a response. What does encompass? Listen, I'm not trying to get under your nerves, but let's just speak plainly here. You really, really had me. I believed every single thing you said last week. It was a great speech. I'm good enough to become the world champion. But what happened? Exactly what I told you would happen. You wrestled a Viper and he dropped you. Am I right? I mean, honestly, Sami, when are you going to get through your thick skull that all this, the way you are, the way you want to be, Sami, you're never going to be world champion? Sami sort of takes it in, says, okay. And then, bam, punches Karrion Kross in the face. Says he's done talking to Kross. He had a conversation earlier with Adam Pearce, and their upcoming match is official TikTok. And then I thought, oh no, he's broke his jaw. Because, like, Karrion Kross is clutching his face. And then, all of a sudden, you hear Scarlett go, stop it. And he takes the hand away from his mouth. And he's smiling. And he says, got him. Yes!
Liquid Karrion Kross, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right where he wants him, you fools. Like,
he's got a match. Night of Champions.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Careful what you wish for, mate. Like, I hope this...
Fast forward through it. It's fine. I'm away this weekend. I'll catch up on Sunday.
I'll just catch up on the promo, whatever he says next week. It turns out that was what I thought of it.
This Night of Champions card stinks. It stinks.
Yes, Mr. Sidgwick, everything stinks.
It does.
You might be right on this one.
Like, Solo Sikoa in a singles match.
I mean,
Karrion Kross.
Solo Jacobs, good stuff. Come on.
You need to be getting on board with that.
I don't need to do anything.
Yeah, Solo Jacobs. Yeah, I like that. Punk and Cena's got to be all right.
All gas, no brains. Solo Sikoa's not funny.
Oh, he's patter.
He's hilarious.
Solo Sikoa.
You're on the wrong side of history with this one.
Yeah, I'm with him on this one.
Let's move on. Solo Sikoa's dog. His pony. As a professional
Dog and
wrestler,
pony show.
he is a pony in every element.
It's funny. Solo's figured it all out. It's like,
Is he God?
it's just like,
Got the master plan.
or from the old Big Jim playbook, I would say. Understood when to go from serious to patter when you're on the heel side of things, and he's done it. And now, like,
I get what you're saying. I don't want to watch him wrestle a match ever.
it's fair. I'm not going to
What's
argue
Big
that.
Jim doing? What's Big Jim doing?
Oh, he's back in the game now. Him and Jacob are forming a slight alliance because Jimmy's like, how am I? Like, it's good. It's what's going to bring the Usos back together when Jay's singles push finally comes to its end. It's like they're going to bring Hikuleo in, and like Jimmy and Jacob are going to struggle or whatever. And Jay's like, I'll help.
Have you heard yourself?
What?
The new bloodline getting splintered off again.
Yes. Oh, no, this is just for like a couple of tag matches here and there. And we're seeing the Usos back together. That's what you want. Like, you want to see the Usos.
What I want is it.
Well, not what you want, evidently.
You mean
What else is on the card?
You got
Punk and Cena. This.
Punk Cena could be a disaster.
I mean,
It
who
could go
knows?
either way. I
What's
think
that?
it could go either way. You got a Karrion Kross singles match against Sami Zayn. You got a solo Sikoa match where he's hopeless against Jacob Fatu. You've got Jade Cargill in a singles match against Asuka.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody
Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes and Randy ought to be a good bit of business.
And
A sixth match.
Street Fight. Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah.
That could suck.
Good rule.
No,
yeah. That's a bit of a Punk Cena situation there. They've had a Turcarino, but they've had they had a good weapons match on NXT way back when because they just slung stuff at each other.
Yeah,
So,
that was about 5, 6 years ago.
Everything else, Punk and Cena was decades ago.
Everything else,
Saying that
yeah,
about
but
them.
they had a series of good matches. Everything else Raquel and Rhea have done was pony, including the glimpse of the physicality you got on this angle later.
Well, Garner bomb through the Slim Jim table.
No, we'll get to it.
Sorry.
Karrion Kross singles match. Then there was the women's
do
IC
this
title match. This was class. Bayley versus Becky Lynch. Bayley in control early on, but Becky Lynch yanks her arm over the top rope as we go to a break and targets the arm during the break. But Bayley makes a comeback. Lynch cuts her off with a back suplex, but Bayley hits a Bayley to belly out of nowhere for a near fall. Then slams Lynch into the corner and hits that sunset flip powerbomb into the turnbuckles for 2. Lynch comes back with a superplex. They trade counters. Bayley gets her with a single leg Boston Crab because of the injured arm. But Lynch gets a rope break. Bayley blocks a manhandle slam and hits one of her own, but Becky Lynch rolls out of the ring. Bayley goes out after her, but Lynch chucks her over the announce table and then just starts chucking stuff on top of her, piling chairs trying to bury her and get a count-out win. But Lyra Vakyria shows up to help Bayley get back into the game, and Becky Lynch hits Valkyria and is like, come on, chin me. She wants the DQ win, obviously, but Lyra doesn't do it. Then Lynch tries a baseball slide on Bayley, but hits Valkyria instead. Bayley shoves Lynch into the ring post and the barricade, chucks her in. She's going to come off the top, probably win the title. But Valkyria slides in and attacks Becky Lynch for the DQ. Post-match, Bayley argues with Lyra, and Becky Lynch just smirks and sneaks away with her title.
I love this, and I really needed it, and Bayley did too. This was so tight. This was so psychologically sound, and I know those are like synonyms for boring a lot of the time, but this was far from boring. This was Becky Lynch and Bayley, the sort of complete wrestlers, exhibiting that ultimately, like, been at this forever, but never that much against each other, and certainly not in these character dynamics before. So it was really cool to watch Bayley wrestling tactically, as she does, technically, but with the fire of somebody that was betrayed and attacked and all that kind of thing. They put a lot of little details in that I appreciated, down to the gear, which I loved.
Oh, yes.
Bayley was in attire. If you look back at when they won the tag belts at WrestleMania, she was in attire that would have matched up with Lyra Vakyria's. Becky Lynch, knowing this, wore the attire that she wore when she tagged with Lyra Vakyria at WrestleMania to win the tag titles, just as like a further neg, ultimately try and get in Bayley's head. I took this from you. I'll take anything I want from you. The literal act of burying her under the chairs when Becky Lynch's entire character now is, I want to bury everybody. She's playing Shoot Charlotte Flair. That's her gimmick.
Yes.
She knows it really well. So like that is a really nice device of like just a way to like illustrate what this character is. She'll do it desperately and she'll do it to anybody, whether you're Bayley or whether you're Lyra Vakyria still on the come up. And I really, really like the way that they arrived at the WD, because we talked yesterday. You can do it. It doesn't have to be this like criminal offense on wrestling if you're telling like an interesting story and you're not abusing it. And I thought this was like a picture perfect way to do it. They didn't take the piss. Lyra tried really hard. She knew what she was doing in the end, and she tried really hard not to throw away the match. But we've seen in this Becky Lyra thing that her getting under Lyra's skin has been key to, well, how she's taken a title and how she's kind of moved through this story and basically pushed Lyra off to one side. And it's happened again. And now we get the triple threat, and this believable tension with Bayley and Lyra has been, I think, really effective as well. Becky Lynch, Lyra Vakyria, and everything off it continues to just be this thing that I'm so grateful for. Really good booking, really enjoyable match.
I thought it was a bit boring. Sorry. I thought it was a bit boring, and I can't get past the hum.
This is
I cannot get past the hum.
This is like the 4-on-4 on a Dynamite, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you've and then it's like, and I'm now going to go to Hamlet and tell you why he was bored, Richard.
Yeah. I was just bored.
Yeah.
I think they put the work in, bit of thought, well crafted, I guess. I was just a bit bored by it. So the finish, fine.
Triple threat for Evolution.
I mean, that's what's happening.
Oh, careful, triple threats. I've heard triple threats are bad, but then I watched 3 at WrestleMania that were pretty bloody perfect to me. Chad Gable is chatting with Ivy Nile backstage. She's his favourite student. Don't tell the Creed brothers though. But she should have won Money in the Bank and Queen of the Ring. Stephanie Vacquet, got in her way. Take her out completely like he did to Alpha Academy and Otis and what have you. And then Gable sees Penta walking up and just walks over and mocks him for losing. And Penta's like, shut up, leave me alone. And he's like, I'll take your mask off, dickhead. Tries to close on him. Penta ducks it, super kicks him. Zero miedo, snaps his arm, and then legs it. American-made check on Gable. And there's Ludwig, guys in the background, hey!
They are doing a thing, aren't they, where they want you to think that one of these days you're going to get El Grande Americano and Chad Gable in the same room because it's Ludwig Kaiser. Is this going to come sooner rather than later? Because is El Grande Americano mysteriously going to have a broken arm, arm in a sling?
Yeah.
And then and
That would require someone to sell this move
and Postman
since 2017.
Cody's going to be like, let me tell you how to sell that. Shake it off. But
Turns out you can carry a child, no problem.
Postman Pearce is like, well, Chad, if you can get a message to El Grande Americano, it's that he's in action tonight against Penta. I'm looking forward to seeing it. And I think El Grande's arm is broken as well. And then mysteriously it's not. And that's Ludwig Kaiser's first night in the mask or something like that. That's got to be where this is going. I said it the other week. They've charmed me with El Grande Americano and this Chad Gable thing. They've won me over. Dial back the low-lying chud hatred and dial up Chad Gable's comedic chops. Kel Surprise becomes entertaining and a nice distraction rather than slightly fueled by hatred.
Yes. I don't care. I've seen Chad Gable and Penta since January, off and on. It was all right to begin with. I couldn't give a toss, but let's move on.
From Kel Surprise to Raquel
Lucha
Rodriguez. It's lovely. They spoke over it. They ruined it. Raquel's in the ring.
If you want us to not speak, I'll just leave.
He worked for an hour on that segue. He said in the office, can you say Kel Surprise around the Chad Gable things? He didn't, obviously.
Calls out Rhea Ripley. She comes out. They brawl. Ripley gets the better of things. Rodriguez fights back on the floor. Ripley hits a jumping forearm off the announcer's table and sets up the Slim Jim table. Because going to hit Riptide on Raquel through the table, but Perez runs out to make the save. Ripley slams Perez against the turnbuckle, turns around, goes to nail Raquel with a big kick, but gets caught with a huge Tejana bomb through the table. And Raquel embraces Perez.
I wish AW would put DraftKings on the table or something.
You shut up, mate.
I like these Slim Jim tables. I like these Slim Jim tables, and I don't see why everybody's issue with them is.
Well, there's one change we'd make.
Yeah, I'd put the Slim Jim logo in the middle.
So no. 2 changes we'd make, sorry.
What's the
legs.
Meat sticks for legs, yeah. But if that's logistically an issue, Slim Jim logo in the middle. But let's analyse the action here. I thought this was pretty effective, and you said that you didn't think the chemistry
I
was
don't give a toss about it. There's a big boot that just looks like Eric Watts.
That's a pretty disgusting promotional tactic, if you ask me.
It is. If you want to read more about that, well, in about a couple of weeks, keep your eyes peeled, whatculture.com/WWE. Yeah, with the big boot. I mean, who cares? It's one big boot, but they whiff everything together. They are they have anti-chemistry. So forgive me if not doing cartwheels at the idea of them working in the overbearing sun of Saudi Arabia.
Roxanne helping Raquel.
That makes everything better.
when like beating Rhea.
Sports washing, eh? Who'd have anything to do with that?
Roxanne helping Raquel beat Rhea when Liv couldn't. Again, elevates Roxanne's status as opposed to Liv Morgan as well.
No, it's a decent bit of like threading if you're into it. Just again, you got another glimpse of these two. That's Botch City Jones.
Is this the way they get to the Nikki Bella tag match at Evolution?
Probably, yeah.
Roxanne helps Raquel win the street fight.
So Rhea needs a partner. She goes to Nikki. Because Bree's just not had the call.
We'll see.
After a break, I should say, Rhea storms into Pearce's office and gets the match for Night of Champions. There's also a tease of potentially Asuka winning Queen of the Ring with Kathy Kelly and IYO SKY. See you at SummerSlam. Wouldn't mind seeing it, to be honest.
No.
But
What's this? I completely drifted off.
If Asuka wins the Queen of the Ring, she'll take on IYO SKY.
I mean, that's a far better match.
Yeah.
A significantly better match.
It's not as narratively as interesting, though, is it? Like Jade and Tiffany for the Naomi cash-in. Like, it's a more interesting story than an IYO and Asuka, like, good wrestling match.
Yeah, they could just tell us. They could tell a story with Asuka and IYO. Where the hell is IYO SKY's not in this show enough?
Nah, she's not a featured character.
She was really starting to get there as well.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable.
Yeah.
main event time, it is the King of the Ring semi-final. Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso. I was wrong yesterday when I said I thought Cody should have come out first. I really like the idea of, because Jey was out first, Cody being like, right, okay, got the jacket. I'll do the word. And he's like, okay, Jey. And then what does he do when Jey's finished his entrance?
When Jey finished his entrance, kind of there you go.
Cody's still there waiting to grill. 10 minutes.
Yeah, the old wrestling.
They both get big reactions and face off, shake hands. Fans are loving this, obviously. Cody and Jey trade some moves early on. Jey counters at the crossroads. Cody avoids the super kick. And we go to commercials. We see when we come back, Jey's missed a running hip attack.
That's what he does.
Rhodes puts him in a figure four. Jey gets a rope break. Jey hits a Samoan drop after the exchange strikes, gets a 2 count from that. Hits another running hip attack, goes for an Uso splash, but Rhodes gets his knees up and puts Jey in a Kimura out of nowhere. But Jey gets out of it, puts him in a sleeper. Rhodes starts struggling, fading, but dumps Jey over the top rope. Jey blocks Cody's suicide dive. Goes up top, but Rhodes catches him up there and hits a superplex. Takes to another break. When we come back, Rhodes hits some jabs, but Jey avoids the bionic elbow and a Randy Orton-esque power slam from Jey Uso. Allows him to set Cody up for the crossroads, but Rhodes blocks it and hits a Cody cutter for 2. Jey, though, ducks a disaster kick, hits a spear for 2. Rhodes hit a super Cody cutter for 2 as well. Then Jey countered a crossroads, hit one of his own for a nice 2 count. People were buying that one. Jey then super kicks Cody a few times, pulls him up to his feet, hits a spear, and instead of going for a cover, goes up top for a splash. Rhodes catches him up there and hits another super cutter. He follows that with a crossroads. 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes advances to the King of the Ring final against Randy Orton, and there's a nice embrace from the two of them as they close out this show.
God, there's so much to like about this. I think, like, the Jey Uso thing, increasingly, I'm starting to think, rather than just going, I like bad wrestler rubbish, one of the reasons why I want to leap to his defense, other than because I just love the idea of being once again in a building where I can yeet with all those people, I'm going to make a comparison to one of my other favorite wrestlers, and it's Kevin Nash, because there was such a dense quality to a Kevin Nash match when he was in there with the person that could effectively work with him and his strengths. Now, I know that you would think, oh, well, they're totally different wrestlers in terms of the style, but in terms of what they can actually offer to a match, when you put Kevin Nash with a Brett or a Shawn, that's just a outright match of the year, not a good, oh, that's good for a Kevin Nash match. It was like, this is one of the best things you will see this year. And I think there is such a dense quality to a good Jey Uso match that does, for me, like earnestly outstrip a lot of other stuff I watch, but it is so key who he's in there with. And you do think about, like, the Bron Breakker IC title match, the second Gunther match, the recent Gunther match, but I did like one of the Gunther IC title matches way back when, and now this, aren't just, oh, that was quite good for Jey Uso match. I was like, that's something I'm going to, like, think about for a bit. I'm going to remember that in the era where you remember nothing, because there's all these matches every single week. they just like explore stuff. They allow, like, a wrestler will help Jey Uso, and that might sound condescending, but like, right, how can you get one in on me? People can see through you sometimes, but if you're Gunther, how are you going to get one in on Gunther? How are you going to get one in on Bron Breakker? And here, how are you going to get one in on Cody Rhodes? Like, we've been tag partners, so it stands to reason that you know the effectiveness of some of my best moves. So try them, but I'm going to catch you out because you're a bit slapdash in your attempts. But you did become the world champion, and me, Cody Rhodes, the character, sometimes doesn't take people seriously enough, and I've taken you for granted a bit as how you've grown as a singles wrestler since we were tagging together regularly. So you're going to lock on your sleeper or whatever, because that's actually become a bit of a winner for you. You won the world title with that. And just tinkering with that sort of psychology and allowing you to think, right, what do they know about each other, but more interesting, what don't they know about each other? And then watching that play out through the usage of the moves, I just thought was like a really enjoyable character study, even if the result was never in doubt. It didn't become about, well, how does Cody beat Jey? It was more, which bit of these two back and forth characters will be the one that ultimately undoes Jey Uso. I just love this for those reasons. I hope I've not like gone around the houses there, but I do. I think this is a common theme of the Jey Uso matches. And I would argue that as a result, sometimes he's underrated because that's texture. That is texture that his supposed, he's the worst wrestler of all time weakness actually brings to the table. I always talk about his narrative vulnerability, but this is like an in-ring bell-to-bell vulnerability that he can use as a singles wrestler as well. A really lovely, thoughtful match, elevated a little bit by the stakes. And one last thing, because I know I've waxed lyrical, but yet again, another reminder that fundamentally, whether we can like or dislike something like the pipe bomb on Friday, it is a disaster to present CM Punk the way you have done when look at the evidence of what happens when you've been a babyface territory. The furnace for two of your goodies, traditionally one of the hardest matches to book, babyface versus babyface, but no, so much of this audience is virtually brand new, 2 years maybe, and I've just loved these two guys, and I'm loving getting to see them wrestle, best man wins stuff. CM Punk is in that rarefied air of these baby faces that you've made, and you've just chipped away at that over the last 2 or 3 weeks, and that was really stupid. Don't do that. It's gold dust having baby faces this over, and you could feel it in this building as well. So as soon as Night of Champions is out the way, make sure you repair what you've broken with CM Punk. This was like, I don't know, like boom WWE joy for me. This was.
Did I like this match as much as Michael Hamflett? Well, by the sounds of things, no. But I had a great time with this, and I thought it was really, really well done. A nice sort of collision between the sensibilities of both wrestlers. Look, I know there was a bit more texture to what Jey Uso did when he was struggling in the hold against Gunther. But with Jey Uso, realistically, 99 times out of 100, you're better off just kind of spamming near falls and killing some finishers. Not that they ever die, but in the body of a match, killing some finishers. Like, I recall he had a match against, of all people, little Seth Rollins on Raw, where I thought, you know what, they've kind of got me with this. It's very dramatic. It's very dramatic. So he's a pretty shallow wrestler, Jey Uso, ultimately. But my God, if you're going to kick out that many finishes, I will get swept up in it. Even if it's on the basis of, well, this one must be it, you know? But you put that in a match with Cody Rhodes, who is a sensational professional wrestler. Like, the way he just seems to operate within and without the WWE system all at the same time remains so impressive to me. I've talked before about the veneer. That's just overproduced slop.
He's a genius, isn't he?
Yeah, he is a genius. That overproduced slop, where it's like Michael Cole's hysteria. It's off-putting to me. He can break through and pull me into it. Cody Rhodes with his selling. Like, the way he just will treat, I know this is like, it's not even feigned praise because he does it in a really convincing way, but it's such a basic, he will treat a spear like, oh, Jesus Christ, my ribs are killing after that. And it doesn't just plop up, get back up and do some more stuff, you know? Nah, I thought this was really well done. Really, really well done, to the point where the finish start to feel a little bit in doubt. I got that little bit of like, oh, one of these wrestlers is kind of hurt and fighting through something, because selling's a thing that should happen way more often across both promotions. God damn it.
Absolutely.
Really well done. And really necessary.
Registering. It was a lot of registering.
You know what else as well? Because I'm just, God help but me. Fuck, I hate myself sometimes, honestly. When I watched this, my mind went to, God, John Cena's awful, isn't he? He's awful at what he does, because you watch this and you think, oh, Christ, because Cody's barely been around, and he's been my most recent memories of the work of Cody Rhodes. It's pretty much exclusively with John Cena. Sure, he had a fatal 4-way on SmackDown. That was awesome. And it makes you realize, oh, yeah, no, Cody's great. Necessary welcome reminder. Oh, Cody Rhodes is absolutely fantastic at the craft of professional wrestling. He's just, at this point, in there more often than not with someone who's completely useless and, quite frankly, always was.
Horrific chemistry, the two of them as well.
It's John Cena.
It's John Cena, yeah. he's kind of mastering that this year, isn't he? But yeah, them two seem to have specifically awful chemistry.
Yeah.
There's something that does not work with those two.
Yeah.
Hence why I told you my booking for Night of Champions.
Wilbourn's figured out the SummerSlam problem.
It's not ideal, as you'll see. Cody Rhodes obviously wins King of the Ring earlier on in the night, so you're like, right, there we go. Cody and Cena run it back at SummerSlam. In a perfect world, CM Punk wins the world title at Night of Champions, but I don't see that happening because it's Night of Champions. I don't think they've done all this work with Cena and the world title to do it on a show on like the afternoon or whatever it is in the States. And anyway, Cena deliberately gets himself disqualified against CM Punk, and you have a triple threat for the WWE Championship: Punk, Cena, Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam.
And you're preserving the Cena, the Punk.
As
Cody
much as I
match,
like that, genuinely, I think nothing's a necessity. It's so weird talking about WWE. There's no jeopardy. Like, they must do this. Do anything they want. I would like them very much to preserve Cody Punk in as pure as terms as possible, in the anticipation of them finally locking horns in a ring that's not a Rumble match, because I think it's the last true great thing they've got on the table.
Feels
Good
like
for Punk as well, but God, Punk's finished. You agree?
No, but I will keep watching and hope that you're wrong. Do you know what I mean? I need more matches that prove him still to be great. I'm with you on, like, I would like to save, because Punk and Cody now.
I mean, that's gigantic, and they're so good at selling it.
They had that little backstage thing on SmackDown. It was like, well, we've got to stop meeting like this. At some point, who's chasing who? Who's chasing who? And like,
That felt like a deliberate and clever ploy of we're doing Saudi and Punk's we are going to get to the biggest match Punk has got. Don't worry about it.
Like, it gets to January, we're finally on the road, and then the Rock rocks up, and he's like, I hate both of these guys. Get Goldberg back.
Anyway, let us know your thoughts on Raw in the comment section below, or on X at WhatCulture WWE. They can follow all four of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at
M. Sidgwick.
Follow our brilliant producer Adam Nicholas at
It's Adam Nicholas.
And you can follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. And make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts.
Make sure.
The NXT preview coming your way later on today. But for now, it's been the Raw review. My thanks to Hamflett, Sidgwick. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.